Can you be depressed for no reason? No. Why are so many people depressed? For two main reasons. One is that most of us carry some unresolved pain, and the second one is that we are not really present. So in this video, I'm just going to explain a little bit the first and the second one, so just to give you a little bit of an idea what I'm talking about and what you can do to actually get rid of your depression. You can do it. Let's dive into the content, okay? So first, unresolved pain that most of us carry with us. The most crippling thing about the depression is that most people don't actually identify it with a specific reason. You see, depression has a specific reason. Depression is a sign that there is a specific pain inside you that you haven't dealt with yet appropriately, that you haven't resolved, that you haven't examined, that you haven't processed. Okay? And because this pain is actually quite severe, its results are so crippling. Like depression can be so very, very crippling. And some people can have depression on a regular basis over the years, over the decades, you know what I mean? That is the sign that the pain that you're carrying is actually originated in your childhood, and then with time, as pain progresses through life, as every pain has its own history, it's sort of utterly lesser pains are added to it, and this pain is just growing, and then it becomes so crippling that you become depressed, which is a sign that your pain is really so big and so overwhelming, and it started such a long time ago that you need to deal with it. You need to face your pain. Now, let me say this directly. Facing the pain is not going to kill you, okay? But facing the pain is going to set you free from the pain. And actually not facing the pain, not dealing with the pain is something that has a very, very severe consequences that can even end up in you taking your own life. So avoiding the pain, not dealing with the pain, looking away all the time, pushing it away all the time has very, very severe consequences, as you already know. But dealing with the pain, facing the pain, looking into it, sitting with it, embracing it, whatever else you can call it, actually results in you freeing yourself from the pain and living your life in a much better way, more enjoyable way. Free from the pain, free from the crippling depression, okay? So yes, you need to face the pain. If your depression has been ongoing for a long time, that probably means that your pain originated in the childhood, and then other smaller pains have been added to it through the life, but you need to face that original pain from the childhood. And I've got a few videos on my channel about healing emotional pain, emotional healing process, and I want you to go there, look at these videos, and apply some of the things that I suggest you do, and I even show you the techniques how to do it. So I'm not going to dwell on it in this particular video. Now, to the second point, not being present. What I mean by this is like now. Can you see me? Can you feel me? Are you here with me? Can you hear my voice? Can you feel my voice? What is it like? What is my voice? Look at my hands. Look at my mouth. Eyes. Is this something coming through the eyes? We are here, you and me now, looking at each other in this moment in time. Can you feel it? Are you here with me? Or are you in your head thinking about, what does this woman know? She's got no idea about it. But my pain is so big. I mean, my depression is so big. It's got nothing to do with this pain. I'm never going to get out of it. This is just rubbish. There is nothing I can do about it. I mean, this has been going on for such a long time. This video is not going to help me, and so on and so on and so on. You see the difference? We can be present, me and you, here and now, feeling each other's presence being here for each other, being open to each other, being open in this moment as it is now. And let us feel it. Let us experience it. Or we can be in our head, having all these different thoughts, like what you have on a daily basis, maybe, these thoughts of unworthiness, these thoughts of not being good enough, these thoughts of, whatever it's not, whatever, not good, not worthy, not whatever. I mean, this is just in your head. These are things in your head. How is it important? Are you less alive because you're unworthy, for example, to just take this nonsense thought and give it as an example? You're not valuable, whatever that means. You see, this is some other construct in your head that you're not really present with me now, are you? In your head, dealing with these stupid constructs, some sort of a fiction that people made up and then you picked up, and sort of it's just a fiction. It's just a nonsense. If you're worthy or not worthy, if you're valuable or not valuable, if you've achieved whatever you achieved or whatever, all this nonsense, we are alive. We are alive. What matters is our life, our presence, our existence. We are existent, and all the rest is just crap, being constructed in our head, being picked up from the history of mankind, constructing this sort of a nonsense, sort of a constructs that they just make us sick, Being in the present moment, just really means being here second by second and just, experiencing what's here and now. These are my hands, this is my nose, this is my face. Maybe you're going to make yourself a coffee or a tea and just do it. Being totally focused on making a tea or a coffee, getting the water, pouring the water, looking at the texture of the water, wherever you put it, whether you boil it, whether you put it in a machine, then it's how it's sort of being done, being processed, and the smell, it comes out afterwards, and then when you pour it, it's sort of a texture, the smell, the sound of the pouring into a cup, and then enjoying, sipping slowly, drinking slowly, tasting each mouthful as it comes. Be present. This is about being present. This is about being in a moment. This is all that life is. Being in a moment, being present. Not being in your head, but being here, being present. So these are these two things that sort of usually, come together in our lives, but we have to address them. We have to deal with them. We have to make them happen, resolve our pain and be present as much as possible. Be present as many hours in a day as possible. This is what is life is, existence. Look at my video, like how to find your true self. You will see a bit about a presence, about your life, about your existence. Look up some videos on YouTube about mindfulness, being present. I suggest Thich Nhat Hanh. I will spell it underneath my video. Is a Buddhist monk, Vietnamese Buddhist monk. He's got a beautiful presentations of mindfulness. He's dedicated his whole life to mindfulness, being present. How presence is healing, how you can heal with being present. I will leave his name and look him up on YouTube, and some, the things that also help you are some meditation tracks, some meditation sounds tracks, music tracks, sound tracks. I actually recommend sounds from Tibet, like Tibetan monks chanting Om with the beautiful sounds of bowls, singing bowls, or flute, Tibetan flute. And I will leave some links there to you. Look it all up on YouTube. It's all for free. And then I leave as always some programs under my videos that you can use to and utilize, and just browse through my channel, look through my channels. There is these videos, as I said, that can help you, like healing emotional pain, like how to find your true self, and some other videos. Stay with me, look up all the other videos that I recommend, and programs that I recommend, and yes, your life will open up, your life will become your true existence, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful, as I always say, it is beautiful. This is all from me for today. I will talk to you soon.